and then there's also the USL Cup. I'm only going to refer to it as the USL Cup because I apparently can't call it the Jägermeister Cup anymore, and that's the only thing I want to call it. So we'll just stick with the League Cup. But just overall, I would say, what is your outlook on these tournaments for Hartford? Again, coming off, winning the whole thing
Yeah.
last year, is there the potential to go deep in, either of these tournaments?
Yeah, well, let's talk about the what's now, I guess, the Prinks Tires Cup, which is way less cool than the Jägermeister Cup. Yeah. I will say, if you're going to get a sponsor for your League Cup, you should be required to get something cool. Yeah. So uh, let's talk about that one first, because the way Hartford approached the USL Cup last season was, this is the easiest way to win silverware. You get out of your group, and then you have to win exactly 3 games to lift silverware. That's that's not the case in any other competition, right? That these clubs are playing in, right? And I think Hartford is going to approach it very similarly, right? You get out of your group, which is going to be a little bit more challenging this year because I think only the group winners are going through. There isn't going to be as much. There's more clubs participating because of the expansion of League One, particularly. So it might be a little bit more challenging. But once you get out of your group, you still are only going to you have that very short trajectory to get to silverware. And I think Brendan Burke, he was with Houston Dynamo when they won U.S. Open Cup a couple of years ago, 2023, I think that was. He values those competitions. He thinks they're important. Uh, you won't see like the B team from Hartford in the USL Cup in particular. You'll see them playing those games to win. Now it's a cup competition, right? Like, you can play out of your mind and lose to a own goal or something like that, right? So I don't want to say there's like any guarantees, there aren't in soccer, but that's a competition that I fully expect that Brandon Burke and Hartford Athletic will be targeting, especially because they know they're going to be getting everybody's best shot, right? When you come in as the defending champions, everybody circles that game on the calendar and says, we want to prove that we could win this competition by beating the last guys to win this competition. We're gonna give it everything we've got. So I think they'll go for it for sure. And Burke's style, if the club is clicking, they were the best team on the pitch in those 3 knockout USL Cup games last year. So that style of play is pretty amenable to the teams they're going to be facing. US Open Cup, I have lower expectations for. Obviously, they're opening it up with a visit to FC Motown down in New Jersey. That's an amateur side, a USL's 2 side, that they will probably win that game very easily. But then they're probably going to get Hearts of Pine or RAFC or Westchester or someone in the next round. And I got to be honest, I just, the way Hartford's last couple of seasons have gone in terms of getting a little bit of a slow start, I would not anticipate Hartford to make a deep run in the US Open Cup. Now, I know they want to, they're not writing it off, but we look at how slowly they started last season, how long it took them to really get everybody locked in. And based on kind of what we've seen from a couple of their preseason games, it feels like we're right back there again, right? We're not locked in, even allowing for the fact that it was the Revs, or in their previous preseason game, it was, Red Bull, I think, where they lost pretty badly as well. Even allowing for the level of competition, they're not locked in. And if they're not locked in to start the season, it's going to be difficult to go far in the US Open Cup because the games happen right away. The USL Cup, it's a little later. You've got a little bit more runway to get things really pulled together, and you don't have that. So I can very much see them having to go to Tidewater, or having to go up to Fitzy, or one of those clubs coming here to Hartford, and it just doesn't go their way. Um, but again, like, it's soccer, right? They could play badly, and it turns out that Barry Coffey can score goals from anywhere on the pitch, and they win, right? Like, you just don't know. But I would if I were a betting man, which I am not, I would bet on the USL Cup as a more likely deep run than the US Open Cup.